All right, y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm King Tyson. Don't forget to like and subscribe like I always tell y'all to do in the beginning or the end of my videos. Check it out before we start. Write me at KingTyson713@yahoo.com if you want my advice about something, you want my opinion about something. Write me, KingTyson713@yahoo.com. Also, if you like this content, please go to the video tab section of this YouTube channel. Click on the video that interests you, watch it, give me some feedback in the comments. I really appreciate that. So look, check it out. Let's make this quick video. I know a lot of times we have a division within our community, whether it from the older to the younger generation. We have a division, right? And let me tell you what that division is. The division is that the younger people are not looking up to the older people because the older people in our community are not demonstrating an example that these young people can be proud of. How can a young person be inspired by an older elder when the elder is acting like as if they're on the young generation's level, age? You know, that's another problem, right? And when it comes to relationships, you got to understand, this is the reason why marriage is not talked about, in my opinion, more in the black community like it used to be, right? A lot of people are stirring away from tradition. And if you notice, a lot of black women are not even putting marriage in the forefront as they should. And I'm not saying that marriage is the end all and be all, because let me tell you, people in marriages go through shit way more, or I mean just as much or way more than people in long-term relationships. So what I'm saying is that you got a lot of young women, a lot of young sisters. They prefer having children. Let me say that. Prefer having children without even thinking about marriage. You know, and it's not, when you think about it, normally women, when there was little girls, they picture their wedding day, how they be dressed on their wedding day, who would be at their wedding, you know, having a husband and kids. Young ladies, young girls used to have that thought, you know, when they was younger. But as they get older, in the way the generation changed, in my opinion, they not looking for that, right? The men, young men, you know, like myself, when I was young, I always felt like, man, when I get older, I'm gonna get married, have some kids, you know, beautiful wife, the whole, you know, I ain't gonna say the white picket fence, but I had that whole idea in my head just about, right? Except for the white picket fence. I like black, my favorite color. But what I'm trying to say is that somewhere down the line, things change in our community, and it caused us to have this division. And I know a lot of people try to say, oh, it started with when women wanted to go to work, and then that created division because women wanted to go to work, and then they wanted to kick the man out the house. Let me say, that's the talking point. Black women especially wanted to go to work. They wanted to go to school. And when black women got some entitlement, they said that they didn't need a man. Let me say this, right? When people say this on YouTube talking points, black women have always wanted a black man. Let me say that, right? Excuse me. Black women have always wanted a black man, just like black men always wanted a black woman. The problem is that, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna get ridiculed for saying it. The problem is that we let rap music, we let social media influence change the dynamic of what we see our black women are to be, and our black brothers what they are to be. It changed the whole dynamic, and it's got to the point to where even an honest living, even a black man working, making an honest living, is looked upon as lame when you are young, when they are young adults. We got to get out of that. We have a bad stigma on us, and we got to change it. Now, it's not going to change overnight. That's why on my YouTube channel, my channel is a relationship based channel, but I also preach to the young brothers is that, hey, even if you don't get a college degree, I preach. Y'all know y'all gonna get tired of me saying it, but I gotta say it. I tell my young brothers to go get you a trade. A trade don't take that long to do. It might take a couple of months, and it will change your life, make you, and it help you. It will give you. You will have that skill to provide for your family, right? And I tell my sisters that, you know, and sisters to also to have your own motion. Don't depend on a man as your livelihood. Have your own motion. But when y'all come together, y'all build together. That's what it's all about. We get caught up in a lot of times in only our community, only our brothers and sisters, even in my age, when black women are single, they're saying, I'm not going to do no 50-50. I'm not doing 50-50. I ain't a real man ain't finna do 50-50. Real man gonna pay everything. Do y'all know black women are the only community that have this mindset? And I'm not using white people as the bar to set, right? Or the standard. I'm just saying, I'm just doing some comparison that marriage is two people becoming one. Your income is my income. We're working together. We're building together. And black women have gotten to the point to where you're talking yourself before you even get a man who's going to love you, appreciate you, wanting to protect and provide. You talking that out of existence because you have this one way mindset of what you see a man should be doing. And in fact, let's just do statistics. 90% of men, that's all men. And we just talk United States, all men, including black, white, other races. 90% make under $100,000 a year. 90% of men in the whole United States make under $100,000 a year. Now, let's throw some equations in this, right? Let's throw some things in this. What about if we get older and a man already has kids? He's paying child support most of the time, right? So his income is going part of that. Then he's paying. He has a car note. You know, he has his own. He has credit cards. He got other stuff he's paying for. He's probably won't make the money to pay every single bill in the house. Let's just keep it real. But what if the man pays 70% of the income? I mean, 70% of the bills. And you pay, as a woman, you come in the door paying 30%. What if he pays 60% and you pay 40%? Even if y'all do 50-50 and you're married, you're helping each other out, you're working together, you're building something. Why not? My personal opinion, I'd rather a woman find a good man who's willing to love you, willing to commit to you, want to be with you, adore you, pay 50% of the bills with you, and then y'all save money on the side to start your own business, or you save money to build y'all savings where y'all could travel and have money to do this and this, and y'all build together. Married people build together. And I hear a lot of sisters on social media, and maybe it's just a social media thing. I'm going to say that. But it's it's not even just social media. In real life, you got a lot of women who chasing the money so much from a man that you are talking yourself from finding true love. You're talking yourself out of finding true love because you want to have this man that's willing to pay for your whole lifestyle. And I'm not saying you can't have what you want, but I'm saying is that what's important. Other races of people, married couples, work together. It's only our community where if we working together, that's not enough. Because in our community, we look at the rappers, we look at the scammers, we look at people in entertainment, and we see the flash and the lifestyle of what they have on social media or TV, and we feel like that's what we need to have. And a lot of times, y'all, everybody is not blessed to have millions and millions of dollars. Everybody's not blessed. Those people, entertainers, have been blessed abundantly to have that. Wherever they did to get it, right? They was able to be in a position to have that kind of money. But at the same time, it ain't even about money, because a lot of these people are trash ass people. You know what I'm saying? They trash ass people anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that money is important, but it isn't everything. And I'd rather you find true love than you staying single and waiting on someone is going to come and rescue you and pay for your whole lifestyle. Also, I want to say that, talk to the brothers, is that at some point we got to grow up, brothers. I know when we young, we like to play the field, see if we still got it. But at some point we got to grow up. We got to learn to cherish a black woman. We got to learn to understand her. We have pain in our heart and stuff that we've been through in our lifetime. And just imagine the pain that she has to go through and what she's been through in her lifetime. It's almost like a trauma bond between a black man and black woman, because we can relate to each other because of what we deal with in this world and how we came up. So that right there ought to make y'all even closer. We got to learn, brothers, we got to learn to forget trying to be this player. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to the point to where appreciating a good woman in your life, in your circle, especially one that you decide to have kids with, and dogging this woman out and she don't deserve it. We got to talk about it. Then I know statistics, they're going to say, oh, that's not true. Black men don't have, they said the statistics are, that's the stereotype that black men are having broken homes, right? That's the stereotype, right? But let me say this. I know a lot of brothers who have multiple kids with multiple women, right? Whether some was married, some of them wasn't. But at the same time, a lot of the times you ask a man what happened, why you break up with your children's mother, and a lot of it is no accountability being taken. And as black men and black women should take accountability. That's one thing that we got to do. We got to take accountability. And we struggle with that sometimes. It's easier to put the blame on somebody else instead of putting the blame on ourselves. Relationships, I want to tell everybody, relationships are work. And I don't think people really understand how much work relationships are. Marriages is work. Long-term relationships are work. You really have to trust this person wholeheartedly. You really have to love this person day in and day out. And yes, times get redundant. Times start to look the same. But the genuine love that you have for that person keeps you there, keeps you grounded. And it's a beautiful thing once you in a healthy, loving relationship. Relationships, black people, should not be toxic. If you are in a toxic relationship, that's not a healthy relationship. It's just not. I feel like, brothers, we got to learn to don't get sidetracked with, trying to relive our younger days when we get older. And I think us still wanting to, we still got it. We still have that mindset of, yeah, I still got it. I'm still in the field. That really causes strain in our relationships. It really do. And sisters, also too, sisters, you can't look at other people's relationships and compare it to yours. Your relationship is your relationship. If you want some things to improve, you help improve it. Everything shouldn't be on the man to improve your relationship. You should want to make sure your man is just as happy as you are. Everything is not all about you. It's about both of y'all. Back to where I said the younger generation, the older generation. A lot of the times the younger generation don't listen to the older generation because they look at the bad decisions that we made. And as an older generation, we got to tell them like, hey, I made some poor choices, but I take full accountability of the choices that I made. So look at me as an example of what not to do. Too many young sisters, too many young brothers are doing the same thing that we did when we was their age. You should use us as an example of what not to do. Gangbanging go back, since the 50s. But yet in 2025, we still got young brothers that still participating in gangs, losing their life in gangs. Now, there's some areas in the United States where you grow up at is where you labeled at. It like the way your gang is. And a lot of times you just can't help that, right? And it's unfortunate. But the situations to where it's not like that, where you had a choice whether you wanted to do that, if you can help it go the opposite way, you will have more long-lived life not choosing the streets. The streets don't love nobody, never have loved nobody. We lost so many people, so many good brothers, so many good sisters to the streets. Whether it be in the jail cells or whether it be in the ground. And if those people could go back, they'll most likely would try to change their mind, especially the ones who ain't here no more, I'm sure. Sisters, look at the older women that you see that the life that they was living, struggling, having children, the dad's not around. Or you choosing a man that he is the player like, got other kids with other women, not really being committed to them, but you feel like since you have a baby with him, he's gonna commit to you. You have to look at a person's actions. Look at a person's past behavior, and that determine the future. Now, people can change, but I always say for people to change, something drastic has to happen for them to change. Because if not, people don't really change until something crazy happens. Now, sisters, I had a homegirl, lost her life to domestic violence. Now, I'm saying a lot of black women don't say that. A lot of black women say that black men always tell black women to choose better, but never telling men to do better. And I'm telling the brothers we got to do better too. We got to get us some counseling and some therapy. We got to learn how to do some self-reflecting for ourselves and really truly understand ourselves and live without having to be so hard, man. You know, we try to be tough about everything, and that ain't always the way to be. It's okay to be, you know, as a man, you're gonna be tough. You're gonna be tough regardless as a man, but you still should be able to love. The younger generation looking at us, this older generation, and they seeing that we are not practicing what we preach, and they ain't gonna listen to us. So we got to do better as this older generation. And I think our youth will respect it. Any of the young brothers that see me, right? I can still be dressed up, whether I'm in Amiri, Purple Brand, Gucci, whatever. Whether I'm in a plain t-shirt, a polo style shirt, a suit. They see me, man, Tyson, hey, and I'm older. But they see me still provide for my family, still have a roof over my head, still making sure my wife is good. They see me being a stand-up man. Nothing more respectable than the younger seeing you as a stand-up person. That's what they respect. And you still keeping yourself up while you doing it. Because that inspires them to say, damn, when I get older, I want to be just like that. Like how we did when we was younger. We seen all the cool people. We said, damn, we want to be just like that. The young generation don't look at us like that, how we looked at the older people when we were their age. Because we screwed up a lot. Young women shouldn't be, in this day and age, shouldn't be being with brothers who are no good for them right now. Because they should have seen the older women back in the day when they was younger, seeing the older women do better in choosing the right man. Young brothers today ought to see us gentlemen doing what we got to do. And not talking at them, but talking to them. I think that's the reason why this young generation don't respect us. The black community, our people, man, we've been through a lot as a people. And this divide that we have amongst black men and black women, it's on social media. And it's spreading. And by it spreading, it's going from the old to the young. And we getting further and further divided. Black women now are comfortable being by themselves. And if you want to be by yourself, there's nothing wrong with being by yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want somebody, then you have to know what it takes to become a wife. Know what it takes to stay with somebody. A lot of times we can get people, but learning how to stay with somebody is another skill that you have to learn. And that's from men and from women. It's a lot of things we got to go through. A lot of things we got to do to change this. But hey, I'm just one brother who's making a video. I don't know, y'all. I'm King Tyson. Peace and blessings. One love. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm out.